Angel investor Jason Calacanis joins us this morning from out west. Jason, it's good to see you again. Good morning.
Great to be here, Carl.
I was curious to know what you thought of the quarter. You didn't mention it last night as far as I could see on Twitter. What is your take today?
Yeah. Well, obviously they had a record quarter, but we all know that the iPhone and just smartphones in general are starting to hit sort of peak innovation. In other words, why upgrade, right? When you look at your desktop computer or you look at your flat panel TV, there was a period of time when you were probably obsessed with upgrading those devices. And then at some point you said, hey, it does the job, I don't need to upgrade it. That's what's happening in smartphones. And so people are saying, hey, my iPhone 6, my iPhone 5S, maybe this is good enough. Maybe I can wait another 6 months or a year. They don't have the, desire to upgrade as fast, which means their best-selling product is going to slow down, and they're going to have to find growth in other areas.
Jason, has Apple relied too much on the ecosystem here? And I include carriers there. It used to be you got a big network upgrade. You went from 2.5 or 2G to 3G, 3G to LTE, and that drove sales. But it also used to be in the Mac era that you had iLife driving sales as well. Apple's software arguably more front and center, further ahead of the competition. One might argue they don't have the same sort of argument anymore on phones. I have to have the iPhone because there's software on it I can't get anywhere else. Is that part of the issue here?
Yeah, those are astute observations. I mean, they basically played the entire ecosystem perfectly to build a war chest of over $200 billion. So whatever playbook they deployed, they did it perfectly. They now have a war chest. But now, what's the reason to stick with the iPhone? And what's the reason to upgrade it become the questions. They totally, borked the Mobile Me and the iCloud product for years. Now, actually, anybody who's using the Photos app, it's not crashing, it's backing up your photos. It actually does what the cloud is supposed to do. It took them 5 years, but they got it right. So I think they'll have a little bit of lock in there, but growth is going to have to come from other places. And obviously the watch is, a solid product. We'll see what 2.0 and 3.0 look like, but it's not going to get them there. So that means cars or some other innovative product like a VR headset. There's got to be something else that really just powers them into the next decade. And I think it's going to be cars and VR.
Jason, is it even worth talking about the iPad, which is sinking like a stone? Where will the iPad be a couple years from now?
Listen, it's a brilliant device. It's, great for education, great for games, great for watching movies. But again, if you look around your house or your friends' houses, iPad 2, good enough. People can pick them up and watch a movie on them. There's no desire to buy a new one this year or next year. That's why you're seeing Apple do things like come out with different sizes, right? They fought different sizes for years, then they finally capitulated and added different sizes. They fought, making peripherals, now they've come out with a battery pack. Those are signs that the core product doesn't have as much growth, so they're looking for growth in other places. And Tim Cook is, just blatantly coy. He's, hey, we have a lot of cash, maybe we'll do something with that. I mean, he's basically telling you the story without explicitly telling you he's going to buy Tesla or buy some other company like that. But they're going to start buying some big companies in order to find growth because there is no way to top the iPhone spectacular run except to find growth in other places by buying it.
Jason, they made a big point of the 1 billion active devices, ExxonMobil, Apple Pay. Why does it need to be something outside of that enormous base of potential services, which is already a big business?
Yeah, I mean, the services businesses could, add something to the bottom line. But let's face it, Apple knows how to make money selling hardware at a very high margin and by having the best product in the category. So will they go try to do what Microsoft did in selling packaged software? Will they try to do what Google does with ad networks? No. They've already said very clearly, we're not going to be in the advertising business. We hate the advertising business. We hate violating your privacy. So advertising's off the table. And do they want to sell subscription software? I don't think so. I don't think that that's going to be their big market. They're going to keep coming out with the best world-class hardware with a high margin. And you'll see new innovative products come from them in the next couple of years. And the big question is, do they buy some stuff? Or do they just keep building it themselves? And I think the VR space and the car space are the next two likely candidates to build products that tens of millions and then hundreds of millions of people buy.
All right. Jason Calacanis, thanks.
My pleasure.